Is a renewed effort to ban secretive agreements in the state's lawmaking process. California lawmakers will once again consider a proposal to ban the use of non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, when they make state laws and regulations which affect the public. A non-disclosure agreement is a legally binding contract to keep discussions secret.
And this is the direct result of our reporting on California's controversial new fast food minimum wage law and how non-disclosure agreements were used in the making of that law. A mysterious exemption was made for chains that bake and sell their own bread, but the parties involved still refuse to give us answers. KCRA3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala joins us with this latest proposal. This is really your reporting that brought this to light.
Yeah, that's what Assemblyman Joe Patterson, who is the latest lawmaker to present this, said. A California Republican lawmaker is taking another crack at trying to ban public employees and lobbyists from using them in the state's lawmaking process. Just a refresher, and Ty and Lisa mentioned this, an NDA is a legally binding contract to keep people from talking about a discussion or an experience. This comes about a month after the Assembly's Elections Committee killed the first version of this proposal without really telling us why. So this new version comes from Assemblyman Joe Patterson in the form of AB 1174. This specifically prohibits elected officials, staff, and lobbyists from signing or asking anyone to sign an NDA when drafting, negotiating, or discussing proposed legislation and state regulations. The bill makes an exception for NDAs that solely try to protect trade secrets, financial, and other private business information. This is what makes the bill different from the last, which some business groups said was too broad and worried about protecting that info. Now, the bill once again tries to change the Political Reform Act of 1974, meaning it would need a 2/3 vote from the legislature. Assemblyman Patterson acknowledged it would be a heavy lift.
This continues a discussion on what exactly should be kept from the public. And I have a hard time believing that anything should be kept from the public. Sure, we're going to have meetings, we're going to have discussions, with friends or colleagues and things like that that aren't, we're not wearing a wire and just publicly broadcasting what we're talking about. But if we're actually taking action and negotiating something, that needs to be in the public.
So again, this bill was just put out today. We know a lot of groups are still reviewing it. It's now waiting for a hearing in the state Senate. Coming up tonight at 7, we are going to do a deeper dive into why this proposal is out there in the first place and to look at our efforts to understand what has become known as the Panera exemption in the state's fast food law, which is, again, at the root of all of this.
It just feels strange that we're even debating this. Really? Well, so are Democrats saying anything about this proposal yet?
So still, even after months of repeated requests for comment, no comment from Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas and Senate Pro Tem Mike McGuire. We're also learning there is a bill moving through the Capitol that would, in part, prohibit businesses from using NDAs to determine whether a consumer gets a refund for a service or a product. We've reached out to the Democratic author of that bill, Assemblymember Akilah Weber. She also abstained from voting on the first version, this first proposal of this NDA bill. She's one of a handful of lawmakers that abstained from voting from that, and we still have not gotten a comment back from her on this. So we will keep asking questions. Yes. But again, tune in at 7 to see just sort of how we got here in the first place.
Perseverance from Ashley Zavala. Thank you as always.